you freestyle rap at all?
Not yet.
Doesn't it appear to be extremely coincidental that you guys arrest people right outside of Governor Newsom's press conference? Is this really just a show of power?
Patriots. This is Secret Service Sam. This is Live at 5. This is Samson's World. How are you guys doing out there? Come on in. Welcome. We are going live from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. I am currently on a vacation, chillaxifying. So that's why I am I'm not in the studio. But let me know if you can hear this. Jason Dylas. Look at that. Jason Dylas on the freaking feed, bro. Drop me a Y if you guys can hear this, guys. That's a Y for yes. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Welcome to Samson's World. This is where court, comedy, and culture collide, bitches. Collide. We have a hot show for you guys today. Your world is spinning and your world is crazy. Is anybody else going crazy? Because I hope I'm not the only one. What's up, Jason Dylas? How you doing? Tell your brother Bill Dylas I say, what's up? Jason, you're a very successful not architect, but you're a marketing, very successful. Shout out Clayton alum on the handle. Fucking shout out to your brother Bill Dylas. I love Bill. I'll never forget when we were in, I think he was in 6th grade and I was probably in about 4th grade. We got into a fight and I jumped on his back and I just was not letting go. And he was trying to get to me and he just couldn't get to me because I was little, and I was just on his back. Anyway, I digress. Late guys. I am on vacay. Hold on. I've got somebody who wants they want to come on the show and they want to talk some shop. So hold on one second. Be patient. Be patient. Hold on. Here we go. I'm just sending off a little linkalation. Hope you guys are having a beautiful Thirsty Thursday. Come on in. You remember that, Jason? Yeah. I mean, that was huge, man. Your brother taught me to stand up for myself, which I was telling my son. It's a very important trait as a man or a woman to reach that point where somebody pushes you so far that enough is enough. And you're like, I'm going to stick up for myself now. I'm going to curse you out. I'm going to tell you to back the F up instead of saying, could you please scoot back? No, we're telling you to back the F up. But yeah, your brother, is a big part of me, getting my stuff together and becoming a man. So I appreciate that. Anyway, I'm digressulating. Let me pull up something. I'm going to invite a woman on who we have a little difference of opinion on things, but I think that's important because you guys heard Jimmy Kimmel was fired yesterday. This should alarm every American because there's a little thing called freedom of speech, which I thought most Americans loved the Constitution, right? Everybody always preaches, I love, totally agree. Kids need a little grit. Kids have no grit these days, Jason. And I think I always say it's good to get bullied. That makes you stand up for yourself. But my top story is, Ken, the guy on TikTok who has been feeding and growing a meteorite, period. And it's grown into something I can't even describe. So we will get to Jimmy Kimmel getting fired. I mean, it's crazy. I do have this woman who will come on and talk about it a little bit. But first up, you guys, listen to what AI Sam has to say about Ken.
You guys heard of a comedian named Lenny Bruce?
Sorry, that's not. But yes, I have heard of a comedian, Lenny Bruce. Which was this one? Yeah, here we go. My bad, folks.
Patriots, check in. Mayday. This is President of TikTok, Secret Service Sam. Ken is in trouble, you guys. His latest video, in the caption, he wrote, "What you always want, to see it every day it
Listen to
smells
this.
worse. It smells like burning, you know what? A
Flesh.
totally strange thing that grows and grows without knowing that it's decomposition. As far as I'm concerned, it will never see the sun. What does he then do? He lifts this huge concrete slab off of the top. He has it in a freezer, but the freezer is not on, guys. There's a catch to this. Ken, we are all, I speak on behalf of all global patriots, we are genuinely concerned for your safety. He opens up the freezer that is not on because the thing would be frozen, right? That would be smart, but to keep it frozen, we would think.
You're right,
we don't know,
AI
we should
Sam.
give it to a lab.
Yep, agreed.
He
AI
opens
Sam.
it up. The thing has grown up a vine up the side of this freezer, which will eventually find a hole, like a plant. And I'm getting like, do you see me? I'm like grabbing behind me.
I am too, AI Sam.
heebie-jeebies talking about this thing. Guys, somebody send a Black Hawk down. Somebody send Mayday. Secret Service Sam, deploy the troops. I mean,
okay, I will.
What are we doing here? Ken needs our help. It's time to intervene. As friends, global friends, we need an intervention. Ken,
you're right.
Blink twice if you're okay, man. Let us know. Reach out. The world wants to know. We love you. We are all tracking your story. Every morning, I wake up to see if there's another video of this thing. And Ken, your friends are worried about you. A lot of people are worried. I love you. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for
Facts. Thank you, AI Sam, for that excellent report. Now look at this, guys. Here's the video I was just talking about, or AI Sam was. This is so creepy. Oh my God, that's not even it. No, that's just some stuff in the corner, but didn't that feel like it was it? I know. Look at this. There he is. That's Ken. That's Ken Panama, our man. And his friends say he's not talking to any family. He is not right. Like, this thing is taking his mind over, bros. This is so, oh God. I can't even, oh God, he doesn't have it in the hotel safe. That was a hotel safe. Oh my God, he took the concrete block. Remember, I was saying cinder blocks. They're cinder blocks. Oh my God, get prepared to feel freaked the F out, everybody. Oh my MGs, this is so spooky. Oh my gosh. Cheryl, do you want to come on and check this out real quick? Let me see. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Hi, how are you? You look amazing.
Good, how are you? Thank you. So do you.
I'm very good. Hey, oh, thank you. Where are you at?
Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're in Orlando, Florida. And wait a minute. Why is your name say my name? I'm wondering.
I don't know, because when it says to log, I didn't know what to do, because it's my first
Did
time
you type in my name? You don't want to be me. I mean, I'd much rather be you. I mean,
can I change it?
I think you can. Yeah. I thought when you come in, you usually write your name on the studio. That's what's odd. I didn't know.
Well, first time for everything, and I'm learning.
Of course. No, it's plenty. Let me see if I can rewrite it on.
I think I saved it.
Okay, there. You just did. Yes. Cheryl Mildor. So you're in Orlando. You know, I'm actually in Naples, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Right now. So
I've never
I'm pretty
been
close
there.
to you. Oh, you haven't?
Yes. No.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty quiet. It's very it's like kind of old Jewish, you know, like middle, you know, kind of New Yorkers that come down to retire.
Is it like a retirement home place area?
It's not a retirement home, but there's a lot of old folks here.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of cougars here. There's a high cougar population. Do you know what a cougar is, right?
Yeah, someone that likes to date younger women or men.
There you go. Yeah, right. Cheryl. Yeah, it's like somebody who's generally around 55 and up and is just hot to trot. You know what I mean? Just the kind of woman that you don't have to go after. They go after you, and they you know, you got to be careful down here, you know, because a guy like me, you know, I'm 10 years younger than a lot of these cougars, and you don't want to get caught out in the wild. You might, you know, you might get attacked. So
no. Not at all.
But you got to be safe when you're outside in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, because things are a little bit crazy out there.
They are.
Gotta stay
And then,
safe.
Cheryl, how are you doing? So your shirt says you're over it. Is that pretty much how everybody is feeling right now?
Yes, I'm just over the craziness, the people that's just, just saying negative things about Charlie Kirk. Like, we all witnessed what happened last Wednesday. I don't know if I'm
Hmm.
suffering PTSD, but I can't sleep, and the images that
Wow.
I saw can't be
Yeah.
unseen. It's just it's crazy. It's traumatizing. I know it's traumatizing to everyone, and we
Yeah.
never expected it to happen in our country, in our state. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and I know I was talking about this alien. We can go back to that and we'll lighten it up for everyone.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I think, in processing the reason it is so polarizing is because regardless of, I had a friend who said, because people have love him. People have said he's a racist. There's not like, he's not one of those guys who falls in the middle at all. You either
Right.
really just do not like a lot of what he was doing and saying, or you loved it. But then I think the good part about humanity is most of us can agree on that the empathy for it, that of course, I mean, like I said, he should still be here saying everything he wants to say, like, and to your
Right.
point, it really is PTSD for all of us, because the original video was seen from afar, and it was something that looked like
Mm-hmm.
he grabbed his neck. Everybody was saying he
Right.
grabbed his neck, and that almost led us, to, you want to have hope, right? That people
Yes.
survive. You know what I mean? It's like how Tupac, like when Biggie was like, when he got, that, I thought he'd just keep going. That was Pac. And it was
Yes.
kind of like that. You thought he would pull out of it, but then, and I'm sorry I'm doing a long-winded rant, but
No, you're
what is
fine.
so hard about this incident is then the angles, as literally minutes passed, we were getting closer and closer till you're in the front row, and then you really understand what happened,
Right.
and I think that's the part that is for, my kids have all pretty much seen the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is something, it's different than the Kennedy assassination,
Right.
because
Because we all
that was a
witnessed it in
video.
real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Kennedy video, even though people heard about it, it was through news, it was through newspapers. That video was not readily available to be able to go frame by frame, or then TikTok, somebody enlarges it for you. So you're
Right.
even closer. And I think that's what's hardest about that footage and so traumatizing is you realize, like, the second that it hit him, he was gone. Um
Yeah.
and the aftermath in the wake is disgusting, I think. I don't think
It's
he would
very
be
disgusting.
happy, in the irony of this is he was a man who said he walked like Jesus and this and that, but I don't think he would approve about how people are using his now spirit to move forward. You know what I mean? Like
What do you mean by that?
and
Like,
I just think people are exploiting his death on both sides, whether it's like somebody, makes a joke about it that's a little bit too far or whatnot, or I feel like for example, Donald Trump was at a Yankees game the next day doing his YMCA. It's just like I can tell you're visibly still very hurt by
right.
this. And have you ever met Charlie Kirk?
I never met him, but I heard lots of things about him, and
Hmm.
I saw a few clippings of his podcast, and some of the stuff that he said really resonated with me.
Like
And
what,
some
Cheryl? Just for example.
For example, like how a man should pay for everything when they go on a date. He did a podcast
Okay.
on these two gentlemen's show, and I can't remember their names at the top of my head. But when
Mhm.
he said
I
like
agree
two
with
men,
that also, you know.
right, that men should pay for a woman when they take them out on a date, and I like that's amazing. That's how it should be. You know what I mean? And how you should save
Yeah.
yourself for marriage and have those moral principles and values. So it really
Yeah.
resonates, excuse me, with me when he talks about his values and then talking to other people about it as well. You know,
Mm.
so I really respect that about him.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think a man should pay for the dinner, but I also think, and this could be a little controversial, if
Mhm.
say two people go out on a date and the woman really has no interest in being potentially intimate with the man, I think then maybe they can sometimes split the bill, because and that'd be a good way as a woman to let you know, hey, this was fun, but I think I'm gonna now I still always think a man should pay for the bill, but I'm saying
Right.
sometimes women will go out, get a free meal, and unless and I don't know if this is gonna surprise people, but a lot of men, when they're going out on a date, whether it's prom in high school, whether it's a date, their dream come true of that date would be able to be intimate with that woman most times. You know what I mean? Whether it's a
Right.
holding a hand, getting a kiss, something. And I think a lot of men, sometimes they'll pay for like a really expensive dinner, and the woman's like, okay, thank you, bye. And you're like, oh, dang, I thought,
But
I
why
thought there
should a
was
man
chemistry
expect?
there.
Right.
Well,
It
and
can be
that's the thing.
chemistry.
A
Why
man
do
should not
men?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I feel like a man should not expect that a woman should just give it up on the
exactly.
first date. You know, it shouldn't
No,
be
I'm
that way.
not
You know, if
saying
you
yeah,
right.
go
So
ahead.
I just feel like, if a man found a woman interested and they feel like this is the one, you should court that person. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And go on a
obviously.
second date. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally agree, and that's how I move. I'm just saying I'm giving you opinions of some men who are,
Mhm.
but I do agree that the man should pay, and I agree that there's a lot of things where women don't realize, like, in my marriage, like, I handle all the disgusting stuff. If a kid pukes, I'm the one cleaning up. If an animal
Right.
poops on the rug, I'm the one cleaning up. If there's some trash that has to be, what I mean, I'm doing that. If I'm going up high on a ladder, if I need to, and
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I love being a man for my wife. I love when she hands me a pickle jar, right? And she's like, how did you do that? Like, I'm Superman. I love, I'm just like, it's the little things like that that I think we are kind of losing, like masculinity and
Right.
femininity. But sometimes my wife is more masculine than I am. And sometimes I'm more feminine than she is, and then vice versa. So I
Right.
think you know, uh, you have to have both of those things to keep things interesting.
Right. But you leave the household, right? Because you're the man of the house, and then she's right.
Say again.
Well, what I'm saying is, when you say that both, so basically, like, you're the man of the house, so provide and, take
Yeah.
care of your wife and right. Okay. And then your wife,
Yeah,
she's,
but my wife is also a speech therapist, so she's had a great job for almost 20 years now, and her health insurance, I used to have to pay for myself and the kids' health insurance. It was 1,700 a month. Now with
wow.
hers from her school, it's
Hmm.
$45 a month
Wow. That's a
because she
huge
went back
difference.
full time. So yeah, so I
Okay.
wouldn't even say yes, I'm the man of the house, but I would also say my wife is also the one. I'm not like Charlie Kirk in the sense of
Hmm.
I'm not as traditional. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like, I believe a woman should have her own money and not just depend on a man, because you just never know when you need to have an escape plan, or and I also find a lot of men, they like to take the woman's job away and not have her work to assume
Controlling.
control. It's not like,
Right.
so, oh, honey, you raised the kids. Like I was a stay-at-home dad for different parts of my career. And I realized my wife would come home some days and be like, what did you do all day? And I'm like, I freaking fed this stupid little thing and he puked on me. And then it took me an hour to get him to go down for a nap. And then he went down for an hour and I sat down for a minute. And then it's like, so I understand how a woman feels, you know what I mean? And so I really respect women, mothers. I wish our government would give, parents who stay at home like a salary, like unemployment in a way.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Especially, when women take maternity leave is only 6 weeks. It should be 12
It's
weeks
crazy.
or longer. And it is crazy. And most countries, like I believe in Canada or England, they get like, I think a year. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, but they get a longer maternity leave to us here, which is really crazy to me.
Right.
That you don't get longer maternity leave.
Yeah. Now, Cheryl, are you a big fan of Charlie Kirk, or is this recent? Because you and I brought you on today because you and I were having kind of a little exchange in text.
Yes.
And I was wondering, like, is this something where you've been a fan for a while, or because you feel very passionate about, kind of with what Jimmy Kimmel said and just over this? So how do you feel about that?
I heard of him, to be honest with you. I haven't followed him like that. My husband have. I heard of Charlie Kirk. And and then when that incident happened, I'm like, oh my gosh, because before that incident happened, I was watching his podcast and listening to things that he had to say, like I told you earlier, and some of the stuff that he mentioned really resonated with me. So when people are mocking his death and saying all these crazy, outrageous stuff, that really infuriates me. It really pissed me off. Before I even joined into the show, I was about to talk about it on my YouTube channel. And listen, we all have freedom of speech, okay? We all can say what we want. That's the freedom of our First Amendment rights. No one's not saying that. I just want to be clear. When you say words or mock his death, there's consequences for your action. I don't want to work with someone who is celebrating a man's death. To me, that's a little scary because if you can celebrate someone's death, how do you know you may not do that to me or someone else? To me, where's the humanity? Where's the grace? Okay, Mrs. Erica Kirk, she's a widow. You know what I mean? She like, people have no compassion. Whether you agree with his views or not, he was still a human being at the end of the day. He was a husband, a father, a friend, a colleague. No one doesn't deserve to be shot and assassinated like that. Period.
No, because he had a long life ahead of him. That was not fair.
Long life, 31 years old, Sam. 31.
Right? Yeah, that's a baby. That's really just a baby. I mean, 31. A lot of people look at that as old. Some young people, but that's really just getting your start.
Right. I want to ask you a question. What do you think?
Sure.
That can change. What can change? Like, what went wrong? Like, how did it get to this point that it gets so escalated like this? That we can't have a healthy debate about anything.
I mean, I think, if anything, in an ironic way, I think this has brought about some more healthier debate because it really shocked the world that this could happen. I mean, it's scary to me as a comedian and somebody who likes to speak his mind and say things that they aren't always what everybody agrees with. And I've never thought of anything I've ever said. I've only thought of the audience could boo me or they could not laugh at my joke. But the fact that could they put me in jail for saying things about the president? Or, I always worried, like, on Saturday Night Live, are you not going to be able to do because that's what people come to America and love about America is that, in Thailand, you talk about the king and they'll kill you. I think, I don't know if it's still the law, allegedly, don't quote me on it, but, people have to have a picture of the king in their house. And
really?
So I think the thing with Charlie Kirk is I think a lot of us, I've noticed people I have disagreed with, we've fought a little bit at first, but then we kind of calmed down, or like, well, I hope you have a great night. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people with this, they're like, good, I think Jimmy Kimmel should not have lost the show, because if you listen, huh?
I said
No,
you
I mean, I guess the thing is, if he lost the show for that, he said the N-word and came over, and he was in blackface in the video. Remember, he came under fire. That's why he started to have guest hosts on his show, because he said the N-word. So you're like, to me personally, that's way more offensive, him being in blackface, him saying the N-word, and hardly having any black writers on his show.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was gonna be like, oh, cut the show for that, then I'd be, but I still wouldn't be like, even though he did it, because I think people should have the right to the free speech, especially in comedy. Like I was saying, like Greg Gutfeld, have you seen that show?
No.
Oh God, it's on Fox. It's the #1 rated late night show. It's bigger than all of the other late night shows because it's the only conservative late night show. And he was doing this thing. He's like, I think we should do what the black community did with the N-word, except ours is like, what's up, my Nazi? And he's like, says this, and it's so appalling. And of course, I'm repeating it. But I was like, that is disgusting. That you would even try to even compare the two or think that it was funny. But I don't think his show should be taken. Like, I like dark comedy. I'm a comedian. Like Donnell Rawlings says, a joke can be like too soon, but it's never too soon for a funny observation. You know what I mean? So we often, somebody dies, and like the people who died in that the submarine. I heard people like their last words like, you know what? It's like, of course, we joke about death because we laugh or we cry. And I do think there's some tasteless jokes that have been made. But once we start doing that, I don't think people should be fired for just because you don't like what they said about somebody. It's just, that's freedom of speach, But I agree, it makes them a different person.
Right. I agree with you in a certain extent, but if someone at a company is mocking or celebrating someone's death, in my opinion, they should be fired. I'm sorry. They should be fired. They should be terminated. They shouldn't be at the job. Like these students in Texas, one black kid, I don't know his name, he was mocking, how Charlie Kirk died, and he got expelled.
Right.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so is he angry? Like, what did Charlie Kirk did to him? Like, are you trying to get clicks and baits? Like, why would you do something like that? And everyone's laughing.
I don't know. And you can tell me this because I think it's interesting, because I have seen that some people in the black community were not really big fans of Charlie Kirk and some of the things he said. And that's what I wanted to ask you too, because one of his things, and I saw the video, I might still have it here, and I can play it for you because it's a lot better than me attempting to quote it. Let me see real quick. But I think that's what's most interesting about it is, he did say a lot of kind of sexist, homophobic, misogynistic things to some people. So it's like,
Charlie Kirk is racist? Because a lot of people say he's racist, and I'm like, I watch some of his videos, and I don't know.
I personally, in my scale of racism, yes, I think he falls under a level of racism. But there's a lot of white people that I know that have no clue that they fall under maybe a low level of racism. But and we all have some bit within us, but I just think a lot, like most Karens have no idea they're a Karen.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Like, oh my God, my friend Sharon at work, they always go to, I have my one black friend. Let me see if I can
Excuse me.
I'm just looking. No, you're fine. Sorry, I'm looking for the
No worries.
video. But it's, I mean, basically, let me see too. I don't know where this puppy is.
I just feel like, we should have debates about topics.
Obvious.
And
Yeah.
have a discussion. We all going to agree to disagree, but we come to a solution. You know what I mean? And it's good to have a healthy debate and talk about things that most people feel uncomfortable talking about. But just to have it towards violence, or I'm just going to kill this person, I'm just going to attack this person. That's not the way to be. That's not the way to go. How are you gonna how are you gonna get your point across with violence?
Exactly.
It doesn't solve
no. Yeah, you're gonna
no
go
one
to jail.
wins.
Like, it's just
Right. No one wins.
right. Here it is, brain processing. Here was this quote. Let me see if I can read it. He was basically he said, black women do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. That was when he was talking about Michelle Obama. He said, if we would have said 3 weeks ago that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called racist. And he does this, racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
I have to watch the video entirely.
Yeah, watch the clip. I wish
context, and
yeah,
no, things
well,
you're doing that, but a lot of people do that.
Oh, of course, no, they do, and that's why I was very interested when you were very passionate about this, and I am very passionate about what happened to him too. But I also think it is interesting because, like you said, he does say a lot of things that resonate with a lot of people, but then he also says things that, and then people thought, he was talking about, people were saying he was supposedly getting paid $150 million from Israel, but he turned it down.
He turned it down. Yes.
Then there's people saying the Groypers, who is the Nick Fuentes, that they hated Charlie Kirk, that apparently there's Nick Fuentes and them are like the farthest right, and that Charlie Kirk was like Obama to them. So, it's interesting. And I think what's interesting throughout this too, and what I think is hard, is it's a lot of white supremacy. That's just part of the thing for me personally. I have, a harder time with is just that threat,
right?
In America, like that to me is the real issue. Is these are all of these people who have committed these crimes all look like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this thing really made America look in the mirror, because I think part of this too is hard. They wanted and that was Jimmy Kimmel's joke. It wasn't even a joke. He just said basically they're trying to make it so it's not MAGA. They're trying to blame it on anything else but MAGA. And that wasn't even it.
Yeah.
I mean, the text threads just seems very off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know did you read any of those?
I didn't read. I just saw I heard about it, and I watched a monologue of Jimmy Kimmel, what he said.
Yeah.
I just feel like, in my opinion, it's the right place and the right time for anything. And I just feel like for me, it's just so inappropriate. I don't know. He hasn't been buried yet. I just feel like, people need to cool the temperature down, and after this, everyone should be coming together and uniting together.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Instead of hating each other, blaming, the right, the left, the red and the blue, which is
Yeah.
not even about that. You know what I mean? People
Right.
just
It
lost
really
touch
is
of
like the red and
reality.
the blue. Yeah, we're like fighting kindergartners,
Right.
while the teachers and administration, or that's what I really feel like, the, is the answer is us all realizing that, oh, you get a red star, you get a blue star, but no, we should all be getting gold stars. We're all on the same
Exactly.
team, but if we all work together and figure out that they're the ones that are screwing us, or they're the ones hiding these Epstein files from the
Yes.
elite, the richest of the rich, who have committed the most disgusting crimes, yet how many innocent people sit in our jails, with no chance of getting out just because they fit the description,
Right.
so it's like, but that's
I always
the
say there's
part that's
two rules.
hardest.
There's two rules. I always say there's always two rules for people. For the
Of
rich,
course.
they're
Yeah.
separate, and then for us, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it's just
But what
crazy because the law is the law.
yeah. And what I was just thinking too, and I know I'm not saying like George Floyd was the same as Charlie Kirk at all, but I think culturally he was. And I just want to point out though, what I do think is interesting about this whole Charlie Kirk is people said the most, I mean, or somebody brought this up, like Trayvon Martin, George
Yes.
Zimmerman, he was like signing
Mhm.
autographs to people. He sold the gun that he killed Trayvon Martin to for like, or killed him with. He sold it at an auction for $300,000. Like, where is the people's outrage, when they're making all these jokes about George Floyd and instantly discrediting his whole life? And again, I'm not saying we can compare, George Floyd was just an average guy, you
But
know
he
what I
was a
mean, who
criminal
ended up,
too. I'm
well,
sorry to
yeah,
say,
I know that's what
he
people
was
said, but he didn't deserve what happened to him. Or regardless of how you feel about that, he polarized the nation in the way that like Rodney King, polarized the nation by showing us it was the first time police brutality had been caught on camera, in a sense that we had all seen it.
right.
So
But
I guess what I'm saying is, okay, even if George Floyd is a criminal,
which he was,
whatever,
and it's
would
had
you,
it,
sure. Yeah, I don't personally know enough about his past and that. I just saw the video.
but
You know
see,
what I
they
mean? And
showed.
I think,
I don't mean to cut you off, but they showed a
yeah,
video for the whole world to see that the police officer Derek, I can't remember his last
Chauvin or
name.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go,
Mhm.
yeah, that his knee was on his neck. But then when I actually saw the real footage, the other angle, to
Yeah.
me, what I saw, his knee was on his shoulder. On top of that, he took a lot of fentanyl drugs. A lot of fentanyl drugs was in his system. He was very paranoid. He did not want it to get into the vehicle. He was
Yeah.
just not fully there because he knew that he had drugs
But
possession in him.
right.
And
But
then make it
even
seem
all
like
of
it's
that,
just from God that he just like saved the world and they made a statue of him like he's Jesus. And I'm like thinking
well,
to myself, this man was a criminal. He broke into a woman's
mm,
house, had a gun, pointed at her pregnant belly. You know what I mean? And then people are
yeah,
praising
I don't
him.
know.
How
I
do
don't
you
know
see that?
any of that at all. Where can you
Yeah,
send me links to that? But
you
I
can
think
definitely send
though,
me.
but even with all of that said,
Mm-hmm.
I think and look, stop me if this sounds crazy, but I think the reason obviously is because police brutality in the Black community has been something, I don't have to tell you about that,
Yeah.
about our American history. So I think the thing is though, okay, he might have had fentanyl in his system. He might have, like you said, had a gun, committed a crime, robbed somebody. But that doesn't mean that that day Derek Chauvin got to, and I know people say, oh, he didn't die from his hand on neck, but like, have you ever had somebody lay on you and you're like, God, I can't breathe. Like as a kid, you're like, hey, I can't breathe. And
Yeah,
so
like
with
playing.
four
Yeah.
people, and if I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get to is we should have, I don't know why at this point we don't know how to send a mental trauma unit. Okay, this guy's on drugs. Send the mental trauma unit, right? If there's a
Right.
robbery at a bank, send the police. If there's a crazy man, a mass shooter, send the police, the SWAT team.
Right.
But I just personally believe that we should be trained enough to be able to de-escalate a situation. I probably would be pretty confident that I could have gone in there. What, it was a counterfeit $20 bill or something like.
Yes.
This man does not need to end up dead over this. But I guess it's not even about that. I guess the whole point is it gets back to us. So you might say, or a lot of people might say, oh, George Floyd was a criminal. Why? We don't care about him. But a lot of people did care about him. So the jokes that were being made, the memes that were passed around, the Halloween costumes, how many kids, like I said, we saw would be Trevion Martin and George Zimmerman. So where is this compassion? You know, even though, you know, I'm not saying George Floyd is Charlie Kirk, but I'm saying what is the same as the inappropriateness of the jokes. And oh yeah, did you hear he couldn't breathe because you know, you don't think I heard all those racist jokes?
Right. I feel like those jokes are just
I just think,
I
just think that's the part, you know, it's the constitutional, our First Amendment allows that. Like, while I thought that was disgusting and seeing those memes, I wouldn't say they can't do that. You know?
Right. No,
but
I agree with you.
We're hypocritical, especially in this day and age. Like, everybody's applauding Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, but then what happens when their favorite show? What happens when Duck Dynasty gets canceled? You know, I mean, it's like just because it's not in your front yard doesn't mean it won't be at some point.
Right.
You know, and I think it's been kind of like what people have been with the immigrants. Oh, I'm not brown. That'll never affect me.
How do you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
but let me do this, Cheryl. Let's get back. Have you seen this thing?
What is that?
Okay. This is this guy in Panama has been growing a freaking meteorite, and he just moved it into a refrigerator. Look at this thing.
What the hell?
It's so freaking creepy. So nobody knows. This is a huge internet controversy. Nobody knows if it's real at all. What's up, Jerry Minor? Jerry, if you want to come on for a second, just let me know.
It's alive?
Man, it's so freaking freaky. Is everybody seen this?
This is
so
absolutely
creepy.
disgusting. What if that thing jumps out of him?
I mean, that's what usually you would think, like, is the next. Do you see how the vine is growing up the
Yes.
It is growing up and out, and he's been clipping parts of it off and mailing it to people.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is this legal to do?
And so look at that. Look at it move, Cheryl. Look at that. Oh my God. It came out of a meteor, Cheryl. This is so freaking MG.
I'm freaking out. This looks very disturbing and disgusting.
It's crazy. Let me see.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna send my friend here the link real quick. This is something too, real quick. One of his friends sent me a message. I know what it is. I sent him instructions on how to neutralize it. How I know is not important, but I can send you what it is and how to neutralize it. It feeds on fear energy. So make sure, and this is an important message to everybody out there, make sure to tell everyone to stop sharing it and stop looking at it. Everyone needs to stop being scared of it and project energy back to it. Because if you're scared, apparently it's like in Ghostbusters, it'll grow. Dude. Oh my God. Look at this.
You can see that here, right?
Here's a guy who's saying it's a hoax.
When he starts using you can hear the clicking sound of when he turns on the torch to burn the leaves because it keeps moving away,
I think it's real though.
Right? And then he does it again, but this time he realizes I got a silver little block, basically the comet, right? Or the meteorite.
He's a hater,
So I'm going to heat
basically,
that
is what
up.
we
You can
call this
actually
guy.
see the light emanating
So that's
on
what
the
it started
rock
out
itself,
as, Cheryl.
right? Check this out. You can
Right.
see it slightly coming on.
It's
And also
freaking
you can hear the
crazy.
clicks. Every time he clicks it on to burn the rock so he can come back to the camera and show you.
I don't know. This guy's a hater. Here's something also, Cheryl, because I know we were talking about Jimmy Kimmel. You know, I like to skip around a little bit.
Of course.
But look, here's what one of the people at the FCC said, because, you know, the FCC basically he said, we can do this the easy way or the hard way, you know, like, and I'm going to get you, sucker. He's like, you can either take the stairs or the window, you know, and they would always just jump out the window. I love that movie.
Right.
But listen to what this woman says.
Ask you what you even know about all of this from your position. What do you even know about how all this happened? Brendan Carr going on that podcast. What can you tell us?
I understand that there was a podcast and there was the opinion that that broadcasters should not broadcast these types of jokes, which, you know, let me just say this. An inexcusable act of political violence by one disturbed individual must never be exploited as justification for broader censorship or control. And what you're seeing here is this administration is increasingly using the weight of government power to suppress lawful expression, not because it glorifies violence or breaks the law, but because it challenges those in power and reflects views they oppose.
Let me just try to break this down a little bit, because you're sitting here obviously as somebody who, you know, you're a commissioner of the FCC, right? You work with Brendan Carr. So he goes out on this podcast, okay? And he says something very specific. I'm just going to play again the explicit threat that was made. Here he is.
All right, so check
They
this
have
out.
a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, you know, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
The easy way or the hard way, right? There's no, frankly, obviously there's no even attempt at ambiguity here, right? It's just a blatant, bald, direct threat. What do you say? What do you say to that? What do you say to Brendan Carr? I mean, he's your colleague. You guys are on the FCC together. You work with him. He went out and said this.
So I think we really need to make very clear that the First Amendment does not allow us, the FCC, to tell broadcasters what they can broadcast. Personally, I'd rather not speak ill of the dead, but I understand Jimmy Kimmel is a satirist and a comedian.
Yep.
I saw the clip. He did not make any unfounded claims, but he did make a joke, one that others may even find crude. But that is neither illegal nor grounds for companies to capitulate to this administration in ways that violate the First Amendment. And we must be careful not to allow the government to punish critics simply because of content. This sets a dangerous new precedent, and companies must stand firm against any efforts to trade away First Amendment freedoms.
I agree. That was great. And Cheryl, I do have to end my show in this feed, but is there any?
I was having a blast with you.
I know, I am too. I'd like to do more. It's just I am out of town with my guy friends from high school, and one of our friends just arrived from the airport. But I've loved this. This has been great. But if you want, do you want to come back on with me tomorrow at around the same time, and we can do like a part 2, because I love talking with you, and
likewise,
and I just love your point of view as well.
Likewise. Yes. Same time, same place, same channel.
Same place. Let's do it. No, thank you. And you know, also you can share this. We can do that tomorrow, but you can share this to your YouTube channel at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank
Great.
you. And I have to say,
thank you.
I don't know if I said it. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Oh my God. Anytime. You're lovely. So I will talk to you soon. And yeah, thanks again for joining me. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Thank you. Guys, this has been Secret Service Samson's World. I want to thank Cheryl for joining me. She is amazing, a great voice. And she'll be back on tomorrow to talk more, because this was a hot show we had here today. But my friends here, I got to go check it out and have a little fun. Secret Service Sam is out of this piece. Guys, take care of each other. Spread love. It's a Samson.
Can you freestyle rap at all?
Not yet.
Doesn't it appear to be extremely coincidental that you guys arrest people right outside of Governor Newsom's press conference? Is this really just a show of power?